News starts now.
The Ohio Environmental Protection Agency is on the ground in the village of Luckey tonight, and members are taking water samples. This is all related to the results from tests that were done by our media partner, The Blade, which found higher than normal radioactivity levels at 3 locations.
Since 2018, the Army Corps of Engineers has been removing tons of contaminated soil from the Cold War era beryllium production facility site. Long maintaining, the residential areas were not affected. However, 10 of the 39 samples collected by The Blade from well water across Luckey showed radioactivity at least 10 times greater than what the federal government calls normal. Now, this ongoing talk about what's in the water has some residents concerned.
Yeah, EPA officials have said the water is safe, but they are doing these tests to put residents' minds at ease. 13 Action News anchor Alexandria Manthe talked with those EPA officials today and joins us live from Luckey with the latest. Alexandria.
Yes, Lee and Sasha, I am standing right at the root of a lot of this concern. What you see here behind me used to be a massive weapons plant from the Cold War era. Now, residents in Luckey believe that what happened here nearly a century ago is now having effects on their water. Filling up from the faucet, the Ohio EPA took samples at 9 different test sites that were mentioned in the Blade study.
Out of an abundance of caution, when it comes to drinking water, we will take those extra steps to do follow-up testing to be sure, and also to reassure the public here that their water is safe.
Amy Cly, the chief of Ohio's EPA Division of Drinking and Groundwater, says that when the wells were put in at each of these sites, such as the library and elementary school, they underwent testing that all came back with normal and safe levels.
We have drinking water standards for radiological contaminants, and we have not seen any results to date that indicate that water is not meeting those standards.
But some residents say they still worry about potential health risks. Many residents I spoke to said they drink bottled water but still use their wells for everyday tasks, which could be exposing them.
We cook with the water that comes from our well. We bathe in the water that comes from our well. We make our coffee with the water that comes from our well. Yeah, it's concerning to me for sure.
On the flip side, others say they're not as concerned and have never had problems with the water in town. One man I spoke to said he's glad the EPA is doing testing and hopes it will squash rumors he's seen on social media.
But they need to follow the science. They need to take a step back and understand the science behind this and understand what this can and cannot do and what is acceptable.
The EPA's samples will be sent to a lab for testing. Results are expected to come back in around 30 days. And the testing that was done today was just for public water. The Ohio EPA will determine when those test results come back if additional testing is needed for those private wells, like when it comes to the wells that are at people's homes. Now, they aren't testing this now, but we will put an email on our website for a waiting list to get testing from the Ohio Department of Health. Sasha, Lee.
All right.